Well, hello and welcome to our Experts in Industry series. I am David Poirier, the CEO of the Poirier Group, and today we're joined by Leslie Nicholson. Leslie is the Senior Vice President, Supply Chain Operations and Digital Business Transformation Lead at Nestlé Canada. She's a highly skilled commercial leader with 25 years of experience across multiple industries, business models, countries, channels, categories, and distribution models. She's well known as an integrator and communicator who defines and transforms strategic plans that deliver results to shareholders. She's also been featured as the top 100 influential women in Canadian supply chain by Supply Chain Canada. Thank you very much for joining us, Leslie. We're really honored to have you be a part of this Experts in Industry series. So let's dive into it. What's the biggest challenge you're facing right now? And how are you combating this?
I'd say it's a really interesting time right now because we're right at this point where we're pivoting. Over the last month or so, we've been pivoting to refocus on more strategic, longer-term priorities, getting back to our strategic plans. But while we're still also balancing hypercare as we continue to navigate all of the unusual circumstances and extraordinary conditions of COVID-19. So the greatest challenge is just balancing those two, keeping, one foot in the day-to-day, making sure that we're looking after what we need to in hypercare to deliver food to Canadians. And then as well, make sure we don't take our eye off of the future and all that brings, focusing on our digital initiatives, which is a really big component of our future-proofing on our strategic plans, as well refocusing our talent strategies and making sure that while we've been knee-deep in executional focus for COVID, that we're not losing sight of our talent development and making sure that our people are still being brought along in the way that they should.
The world of supply chain has really turned itself upside down over the last 6 months. Shifting processes, work standards, timelines, who you can count on as suppliers, employee expectations. So this has really created a challenging time for the expectations for talent management. And how would you go about future-proofing the supply chain talent that you have?
In many cases, there's not brand new competencies that we're looking for in our development strategies, but rather it's more which ones have risen to the top as being even more important. The ability to collaborate throughout the value chain, the ability to be very comfortable in a digital environment, to be able to move quickly. But it's also highlighted being comfortable making decisions. The importance of developing teams and individuals that are comfortable making decisions in a constrained decision-making environment. And I think one thing that was fantastic, actually, if you always try and take the good out of the really bad, challenging times, one of the great things that's come out of this is just the opportunity for so many individuals at all levels in the supply chain organization to really step forward and lead.
A little while ago, we did a webinar on supply chain and talked about how we spent the last 25 years focused on optimality of supply chains. And now there's this shift to optionality on supply chains. And particularly in your business where people are counting on your goods getting to them to feed their families. How do you make supply chains more resilient, and how do you implement quicker decision making that's required for that?
To me, one of the greatest things to drive more resiliency is to have a very strong collaborative network with your partners. For example, if a supplier has very good BCPs in place and a manufacturer has very good BCPs in place on any particular category or group of products, if you then run into trouble at the customer, where all of a sudden something happens at the customer that wasn't foreseen and they can't flow goods, all of the other BCPs don't matter very much if it still can't get to the consumer or the patient. So the greatest enabler of resiliency is collaboration across the value chain. And then from a constrained decision-making, you also asked about decision-making, we needed to have fewer people involved in decisions. People needed to play their roles, let people that were in charge of certain areas make decisions with limited information and move quickly. In a situation like this, you won't come up with the perfect outcome. You're just trying to make the best decision you can with the information you have at hand at the time. So it's just almost giving people, first of all, permission, not only permission, but the expectation to go make decisions. This is the framework we've set up. Make the best decision you can. Reach out for help if you need to. But this isn't a committee of 10 to make a decision in these conditions. It's just not possible.
Let me turn it a little more personally for you. The last 6 months has been extraordinary in so many ways for all of us. What have your biggest lessons learned been over the last 6 months, both personally and professionally?
But one of the things I think it did is professionally, the greatest learning was talent is everything. Talent and culture is everything. And if you don't have a strong foundation for that, you have a much more difficult time going through situations like this. You know, we had a conversation with our leadership team that through this, some individuals at all levels just really rose to the occasion and really stood out. And a couple of the key things were those that were comfortable in a constrained decision-making environment, and those that could recognize that even when you're in a crisis, not every event that happens is a crisis, and that not every event should be treated equally within a crisis situation. So just being able to have that calmness. So all of those learnings about people to me have been so important. And then when you transition to personal, I think the learning was it's much easier to integrate personal and professional now. And I don't want to lose all of that. I don't think we will. So just that mixing of the personal and professional was, I really enjoy it. And I believe it actually brought us closer as a team. It also made us a bit more aware and cognizant of what other people are going through. And personally for me, I've learned that you can fit in a lot of really incredible moments with your family in 5 or 10 minutes. And forget the word balance, it really is more about integration. So those are my biggest learnings. The biggest ones usually are about people and personal strength and what a team can do versus even supply chain competencies.
And Leslie, I want to thank you so much for being a part of Experts in Industry series with us. It was wonderful to have you on here, and I wish you all the best in success with the organization. It's clear that the values you've instilled in supply chain at Nestle will be remarkable and long-standing for your success. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much.